How's it going, guys and gals? This is Advanced Warrior here, and welcome back to another Advanced Wars by Web replay commentary. Now, as for this video, this one's going to be a bit different than what I've been showcasing, because here I am not playing Fog. I will be playing a standard game. There is a distinct difference when it comes to Fog and standard. Obviously, in Fog, you have limited vision, but that's not what I'm talking about. When it comes to playing standard and playing Fog, when you're playing in standard, everything is calculated. Every single move that you make must have a purpose or a reason, and your opponent could see your mistakes and maybe try to take advantage of it. You know, it's kind of like chess. Obviously, you can see everything on the board and you're trying to make the right moves. But in Advanced Wars by Web, or Advanced Wars in general, with so many units that could all move at the same turn, everything can be moved in certain orders, which could be a better or worse outcome. So you really got to calculate everything that you see in order to try to have the best results. That's what I think. That's what I would say is the important difference between Fog and Standard. It's not just that you can see everything, but every single move that you make matters, and your opponent could see through your mistakes and maybe capitalize over that. Alright, that's all I wanted to briefly say about the game mode. Let's talk about the COs. So I decided I wanted to play a tier 1 game, but I was kind of surprised at what I saw, but we'll see. Hawke has a plus 10% attack bonus on all of his units. That's it. Might not seem like much, but when you consider the calculations, it actually can change it up a little bit. With Hawke, you can use 2 healthy units to attack 1 healthy unit in a forest. Say like an infantry, you can have 2 healthy infantry attack an infantry in a forest. That infantry will die. Same thing goes with tanks. 2 tanks can kill a single tank that is sitting on the forest. Some Advanced Wars by Web maps actually have a comm tower for each player, and Hawke with a comm tower is actually why I really like playing him, because you get a plus 20% attack, and that allows you to do the same damage to enemies on cities. 2 infantry can kill 1 infantry on a city, 2 tanks can kill 1 tank on a city as well. So yeah, it might not seem like much, but if you consider the calculations, it can actually give yourself a nice little boost and actually kill some units with your plus 20% attack, if that map has a comm tower. So, Hawke's power, Black Wave, 5 stars. Deals 1 damage to all enemies, but it won't kill them if they're already at 1 HP, and it also heals your own units for plus 1 HP. This one is used more niche situations. I do find it useful when there's like so many units that have like such little health. Just getting 1 HP, just getting like a 2 HP advantage can actually have a nice little swing in like niche little battles. Yeah, it's you probably won't see it as used as much. However, Black Storm is what's more satisfying with Hawke. Like most Hawke players that I see or hear from, it's just so satisfying to use Black Storm. It basically doubles the power of Black Wave, minus 2 HP to all enemies, and plus 2 HP of your own. In like the bigger battles where the units have higher HP, that can really matter a lot. And not only that, it can also maybe swing the unit values around. Kind of puts you in the lead. Unit value, some people might see different values between unit count, unit value, and income per turn. But Black Storm, it's satisfying, and if you follow through, you actually could turn the tides of the game. Now on the surface, it might not seem like Hawke has any weaknesses, but as I mentioned, Black Wave is 5 stars, adding 4 more for Black Storm, that is 9. Hawke's powers are going to come very late in the game, much later than most other COs. I believe he's tied for the second most expensive power in the entire Advanced Wars Byweb roster. The other two being Von Bolt's Ex Machina and Sturm's Meteor Strike 2, which both cost 10 stars. Alright. But yeah, Hawke has a nice simple day-to-day. Powers are really good, but also really slow. Would I say it's overpriced? It gets annoying when everyone else has their powers before you, but most of the time when I pop Black Storm, I usually have a nice little edge. So I would argue that it's kind of worth it. Alright, now Max is actually tier 2 in both Standard and Fog, so I was a bit surprised to see this, but it was still a nice challenge. All his direct units gain plus 20% attack. Obviously, it's already doubled in my direct unit. However, his indirects lose minus 10% attack, which, it's noticeable. However, minus 1 range is what really hurts Max. If you just use direct units, then yeah, I could see Max working out very well, but in Standard, I see artilleries used a bit more in Standard because they can be used as a deterrence. Max artilleries are not going to be used much as a deterrence, so you want to keep being on the offensive as Max. With the Comm Tower, he's going to get plus 30% attack, so yeah, all those calculations I said about Hawke, Max can do a bit better. And his powers are also really good. Max Force gives all his direct units plus 1 movement, but I've noticed it doesn't give a movement bonus for infantry, so it might just be direct vehicles, direct air units, and direct naval units, plus 1 move and plus 30% attack, which is a nice combination of bonuses. Not only do you get to reach your enemies, but you also hit a lot harder than you usually would. Playing against Max, you have to consider how far your opponent can reach you and get those nasty first strikes. Max Blast doubles his move to plus 2 and gains a plus 50% attack boost. So yeah, you can get a really insane swing with Max Blast as well. Just you have to use your units, unlike Hawke, where you can just push a button and yeah, you just see that happening. Yeah, Max, I would say a very solid CO, but sometimes his indirect weakness could stand out, especially in Standard. Alright, so the map here is called Y Prime. Y Prime, I don't know why there are quotation marks here. Yeah, let's see here. We have bases on one side, opposite on the opposite side. They all have an airport next to the comm tower. The HQ is kind of isolated in the corners. We have bridges to connect towards the top and bottom, and this little island-ish area you can go through by 2 bridges or even the shoals around the side. It makes it less choky with these shoals here. Obviously, these properties are very contested. I would say like 2, 4, 6, 8. These 8 properties in the middle are the most contested ones. I'd say the ones on the center island are a lot more contested. About the COs, Hawke could probably do well. It's a decently big map. Hawke does a lot better with the big maps. Max, some parts of the map are kind of open. There are some mountains and forests that do kind of make it thin, especially these rivers alongside of these bridges, but I could see that working just a little bit. Max is definitely going to want to try to get the early lead before I pop my Black Storm. But yeah, let's just see how it goes. So let's begin. And by the way, I am using the dual strike version of Hawke's theme. I personally think it's a lot better than the Black Hole Rising theme, just better quality in the music. Max, going straight for the base. Obviously, that's the right thing to do. Unit count is important, and you want to get that unit count as soon as you can. And I just go for the cities that I can reach. Obviously, he gets an extra infantry, so he's able to get that city before me. Still simple infantry builds. I go for my base, And I kind of deviate from going to this back city right here and try to go for this one because I can have another infantry start capturing these back ones while I already have a bit of a presence, like towards the middle. Like this would be his. If he put it here, then we'd be even. But since I'm player 1, I will get that slight advantage in getting closer towards the center, even if my opponent does have an extra infantry. Day 3. Just seeing properties turn yellow. It's not much to talk about in the early games. Really, it's just what you want to is how you're moving your infantry. So I have these two. Obviously, one's going to go for here, one's going to go for there. This infantry can follow up for that one. I could maybe have an infantry go down here. And I have 7,000, so I decide to build an artillery. Now, I think artilleries are pretty nice against Max because obviously you're going to have that range advantage. So you have better deterrence against Max when you use indirects. When Max benefits from getting in your face, doesn't want to get in range of an artillery. In fact, no unit wants to get in range of an artillery. Unless they have to. So yeah, nothing too different here. Builds 3 infantry when he had 7,000 left. Yeah, he has 9,000 right now. He definitely had enough for tank, infantry. But I wonder why he decided to go for infantry. I think a tank right now would actually be nice because I didn't have enough for a tank. I just had enough for an artillery. Nothing too special, just moving my infantry up, moving my infantry forward. This infantry can get that one. Obviously, this infantry could get this one in 2 turns. I like to have my units like forward as much as I can. And then later on, I just have some units capturing the back. And here he finally builds his tank. Probably could have done it a turn sooner. It'd already be like either up here or maybe covering that middle island. Don't do this to me. Sorry about that cut. Just the replay just stopped working for some reason. Wait. Oh, did I? Yeah, I'm a turn behind. Here we go. Yeah. Begin to continue capturing. Start moving my artillery towards the center because he has his tank coming, and I want my infantry to start capturing these cities, and I'll just keep my artillery in a safe place behind these choke point bridges. And I finally build my first tank on day 6. Max already started moving towards one of the contested properties. Good on him. Tank moving in, covers all these properties on the island actually. Oh no, what'd I do? Oh, starts covering most of the properties on this island. Infantry moving up and has a second tank to cover that first tank. I start capturing one of the contested properties on the top side. And here I went for this city instead of this one. I could have had this infantry go for this city and maybe have an artillery protect that infantry, and then maybe have another infantry go for this city. Yeah, it wouldn't have reached there, so you know, I forgot when I played this. Oh, this was back in March. Yeah, sometimes you look at old replays and you just question yourself. It's like, why did I make this move? Why did I make that move? It happens to all of us. It also happens to the best of us. And here we're starting to capture our comm towers because we can slowly begin to see the potential combat that we're going to be seeing very, very soon. He has a really scary presence towards the center. It's going to be dangerous to try to get either of these cities. Has his third tank and builds the rest with infantry. I finally decide to go for that city. Probably could have already had it. And I have the artillery here because it covers this road and none of Max's tanks can attack from this plane. and none of them could also reach the artillery. So this was a pretty good artillery turn, artillery move. It also covers this infantry if he tries to attack it, but I don't see why you would do that. I also have a tank backup here too. Tank, recon, infantry, because I'm noticing he has some tanks moving towards the middle, and I thought this recon could like maybe start harassing infantry while I try to capture that top side. Day 8. Moving his tanks up. Just moves one up. Yeah, these shoals are actually a little insane. You'd think that it's just these 4 bridges that connect to this island, but look again, you see these shoals that could just come swinging out from the side. He builds his battlecopter down here. It's gonna force me to spawn with an anti-air when I'm already behind in tanks. Actually, no. 1, 2, 3. Oh, never mind. But yeah, it's gonna force me to build an anti-air, and he ends up skipping a base skipping. I will say you have seen me base skip a number of times, and I have won some games base skipping, but your turns are going to be less dynamic. Unit count is one of the most important things that you would want to maintain while you're playing Advanced Wars by Web. But to be fair, he did build a battlecopter, so he still produced 3 units for his turn. But yeah, this is like not recommended. And like I said, in standard, where you can have infantry walls, did I mention that? I don't know if I did, but in standard, infantry walls are more common. So if you're going with infantry walls, you want to make sure you have a steady supply of them. This is not giving you that steady supply if you just base skip an infantry. So yeah, just simple capturings and repositioning. If he tries to attack my tank here, I probably would do better the next turn because I do repair. Although he is max and has a lot of heavy direct damage. I tried going for another contested property up here, could interrupt it, but I do have a recon that can start coming towards the top. And like I said, I have to respond with an anti-air, or else this battlecopter will decimate my tanks. Battlecopters are also nice because all these rivers, they could just try to evade anti-airs. And here on the top, he decides to go for his city. Doesn't find value in interrupting that cap. But yeah, as you can see, he starts to have a lot more presence down towards the center than me, where I'm just sitting on the edge. And he builds his own anti-air. I'd call it a preemptive anti-air to like maybe deter me from building a battlecopter. But I could build one now and just avoid it later. Finally get that city. I was very happy with that one. But I was a bit worried about the center because it's very likely he's going to get these 2 and I'm only going to get 1 out of the 4. Yeah, I position my my artillery to cover my tanks. And I build a medium tank as backup down here. Because I have 3 tanks and artillery. He's got 4 tanks, a battlecopter, but I can counter that battlecopter with an anti-air. So yeah, this was just good reinforcements. These tanks do not want to engage in a medium tank. Tries going for the other contested property down there. Anti-air starts moving forward, and he begins to capture these 2 properties. With 4 tanks and a battlecopter backing them up, I did not see any worth trying to interrupt any of those caps. Battlecopter moves forward, hides behind a mountain and also the river. Good awareness from my opponent. Medium tank and infantry. Obviously in response to my medium tank. Something interesting though, medium tanks are pretty good against max because Obviously, a medium tank does well against another medium tank, but a more cost-effective way to deal with a medium tank is an artillery. And as we mentioned, Max's indirects are not so great. Even artillery is going to be really hard to get that value. So, yeah. Sometimes a medium tank is a good response against Max. You might want to I'm saying you might want to out-tank him or something. But yeah, here I am trying to build up a force on the top side. You know, just trying to, I guess, come in like a wave, like trying to own this side here. Maybe I could get some of his flanks. And I build a battlecopter despite him building an anti-air. But once I deal with the anti-air, my copter can roam free. And I build a second artillery and a recon to deal with these infantry down here. Now he's got a really good income lead against me. I'll have this next one, so I'll be behind by 2, but right now he is the one who should be in control because he has more income than I do. As the tank's starting to loop around towards the top. And here he puts his tank in artillery range and gets the first engagement. Obviously, this is a very good engagement. I will have to pull this tank back, but my artillery just comes in as a good response. But even if I do kill this tank, this anti-air will not be in range of this battlecopter due to this forest. Medium tank rolling down. Yeah, he really has, I would say, good control of the center. I have more of a presence on the north side of the island. And he builds a second medium tank. Okay, day 12. Artillery, obviously, getting the nice strike, first strike. And infantry with plus 20% attack takes out that 1 HP tank. And here I begin my first strikes. Medium tank, it's not in range of this one, so I kind of consider this a free hit in the anti-air. Yeah, it's just gonna cover all my units if he tries to attack with the battlecopter. Get a nice first strike from the mountain. Recon's coming down. These tanks could come down, but he would kind of give up the center. So I have these recons staring down at these 5 infantry. Get a first strike on the city. Yeah, you know, I'm getting all these nice first strikes and kind of forming up a wall just a little bit. Pull that tank back to heal. Battlecopter comes in. Tank, infantry, and the rest of the infantry are just moving up. Okay, day 12 for my opponent. Let's see how he responds after all these first strikes. Infantry moves on the mountain, is able to kill that. He joins, I guess, to make room to attack that. Medium tank comes in, one-shots my infantry, and it opens up the way for him to kill my copter. Copter goes for this infantry, and the tank just comes down and hits my artillery, nearly killing it. Oh, yeah, that was very ugly. He had a fantastic turn for him. Just moving it up. I lost a battlecopter. My artillery is heavily damaged. He builds a medium tank battlecopter, and he misses out on 2 bases again. So, yeah, he's kind of behind on 3 units right now. But I will say he did have a really, really good turn. Yeah, this was an oversight by me. He was able to pull through. This infantry here was exposed to 2 tiles that he could be attacked from, and it just opened up the floodgates. Join caps again. So now we're even on unit counts. When I did see this, I was a little relieved because I feel like over time I should get the advantage because I'm Hawke. My powers come super late, but they are super effective. So yeah, lost an artillery, sort of. Completely lost the helicopter. Let's see how I respond. Pull my artillery back. Get a nice first strike on that tank that's protecting the helicopter. I avenge my helicopter with my medium tank. And I give him a taste of his own medicine, killing his helicopter with my anti-air. Artillery is covering my tank and anything I would put in front of the medium tank. Start attacking from favorable terrain. Spoke too soon. But yeah, you could see if this infantry was full health, that infantry on that city would have died. That's Hawke's 20% attack bonus speaking right now. Recon coming down, harassing these infantry, followed up by my own infantry. Not in range of this helicopter. Well, this infantry is in range of this helicopter, but a helicopter would like to attack something more valuable, and I build an anti-air because of that helicopter. Infantry just moving forward. Getting a lot of nice first strikes, trying to kill off all his infantry. I kind of pulled back a little bit while moving my infantry forward because this artillery covers my recon, not the infantry though. And here, this was just a little misclick by me, I would say. I definitely had the funds to get another infantry, but I messed that up. I was hoping that it wouldn't bite me later on, but on the bright side, it was only one empty base compared to my opponent's 3 empty bases. Helicopter moving forward. I guess his helicopter was okay attacking that infantry. Getting nice engagements on the center. Medium tank. He's got 2 medium tanks up here, man. And he starts capturing this city in front of me. Bold, I would say, but it's going to get shut down hard, obviously. He builds an anti-air, a helicopter. Alright, I would say good build. He already has 3 medium tanks compared to my 2, so okay, I guess. Helicopter comes in and interrupts his cap because there's no anti-air to contest my helicopter, not even another helicopter. So, like I said, that cap was completely stopped. And here I start trying to get a bit more presence on this top side. Obviously, I have this artillery here. Start getting nice little engagements in the center. Starting to harass all that infantry. Anti-air doesn't cover my recon, unfortunately. But yeah, just positioning myself, holding this bottom side with this medium tank. Build another medium tank, pull back for repairs. Try to protect this artillery with this anti-air in the back. But the bar is full. Max blast, +2 movement, +50% attack. Let's see what he does. So he moves his infantry, a few infantry forward, and then he uses his max blast. +50% attack. Let's see how it goes. Doesn't kill my my infantry, surprisingly. That one does, however, which opens up this tank to come in and one-shot that recon. Tank comes in, nearly one-shots my artillery. Recon, no, not recon. Medium tank is down. My medium tank is now exposed. Oh man, 8 damage and 1 in retaliation. Starts moving his infantry forward. Now he's got more of a presence in the center still, and I'm kind of cut off from the top here. And Helicopter gets a nice strike on my recon for free. That was just poor positioning by me. Infantry moving up. 2 damage to my recon on that city. To be fair, the lower your HP, the less defense you'll get from the terrain stars. Because the terrain stars are a percentage defense on how much HP you have. So obviously, smaller HP, less defense. Man, on a city, medium tank first strikes it. And he has his own medium tank. Infantry. Could have gone for another tank actually. Maybe down here. To contest this anti-air. Yeah, this second battlecopter is not going to want to try to hold off that anti-air. And he built a transport copter. I thought this was a bit weird, but obviously I was just going to wait and see what he would do with it. Alright, next turn. It's day 15. Obviously he got a super before mine, but he did so much damage I was able to get mine off. I want you guys to look at this. Currently, I am at 89,200 in unit value, compared to his 121,000. That's, I can't do math right now. So I was like 1,100 to reach 100,000, and then 21 more. So it's almost 32,000 in value. I could be wrong. I'll just do the math after the video and like throw it up on the screen. But this is why I feel like Black Storm is kind of worth its value. I swung it back to get only a slight advantage, but you could just see how much I brought the unit value in my favor, just with a click of a button. So obviously this recon is back to 5 because it was on a city. And I just start getting these, start killing his infantry. I don't know why I didn't attack this one. With this one, I would have attack this infantry, and then this infantry back here, which is over here now, attack that. Like I said, it's just another one of those moments where I would have done a bit differently looking back at it. But it's a nice little blocking here, because although this battlecopter can get away, it will have to move back. Because this anti-air is obviously covering a lot of area for that battlecopter. Artillery, 1 HP artillery, just did enough work to kill that tank. Probably should have done artillery first and then first strike it. But yeah, I'm using these anti-airs. Although anti-airs are mainly used to counter copters, right now there's nothing that can stop this anti-air. It can just roam freely because there's no tanks here at the bottom. Oh man, and yeah, medium tank. Obviously, you want to attack other tanks with a medium tank, but it's synchronizing with everything else. Everything else is getting clumped together, form a little bit of a makeshift wall, if you want to call it. And yeah, now I'm starting to have a presence in the center now. I have all these units compared to his, and I just followed up with another medium tank. Now I got like 3 healthy medium tanks just coming through, and the value is starting to swing in my favor. Now I'm 10 units ahead of my opponent, but I did take a beating from the last turn from the max blast. So let's see here. Anti-air. I have a battlecopter here, but obviously it's not going to attack now. Deals 1 damage to my infantry. Look at this. It's almost funny to me. When you use your power, you get a plus 10% defense, and these might have died if they didn't have that defense boost. But yeah, that makeshift wall, it's holding up. Battlecopter makes a retreat. Now, at first I thought it was weird. It was like, why would you put your transport copter here when an infantry could walk here, and then you would like be 1 space closer maybe to ferry it. Battlecopter coming up out of range of this anti-air, and he builds a mech. So this was a bit understandable, but you know, that's 8,000. You could have built You could have built maybe a tank to like get this into here, and you base skipped again. That's 4 times my opponent has done it. So now he's 5 units behind me. Man, like this is 8,000. That extra 1,000 could have been an infantry if you maybe bought a tank. But I'm not the best player in the world. Everyone else thinks differently, and sometimes that could work out. All right, so I start to capture this one because this city. Because if I do, then the income will start to be even, and as Hawke, I should be able to move the game in my own pace. Oh, this battlecopter just 20% attack, and that battlecopter lost 2 HP, probably from that black storm. Yeah, so satisfying. Here I put an infantry to capture one of his properties because I want him to force him to move something back to try to interrupt that cap. Infantry is going to kill that one. Medium tanks moving up. I start capturing one of the cities. Can't capture this one because I decide to attack an infantry with that tank. Artillery trying to cover my medium tanks. Wait. Yeah, artillery trying to cover my medium tanks. Just begin to pull back. Infantry just moving forward, and I have a medium tank to start coming from the top side. Alright, my opponent, see what he does. Loads his mech into the transport copter, puts it on the mountain. Pretty good, I would say. I can't get a first strike from an infantry, which is very valuable if I do manage that. Uses his anti-air to interrupt that cap. Infantry coming in and taking out this infantry. Medium tank coming in range of my artillery, and first strikes my tank with his damage tank. Okay, I kind of thought this was a bit weird because I have an artillery covering all my tanks. And here, the cheeky bastard, look at this. Uses this battlecopter, attacks my infantry, and sacrifices his other infantry to prevent me from getting the 2-day cap. I was looking at this and I was like, huh. You son of a... You son of a gun. Kudos to you for interrupting this cap. Kudos to you. I'm like, I can't let this keep drawing out like that. It's like, I have to get at least even income against my opponent. Puts his tank on a city. Pretty good defense. Alright, day 17. I capture, and I'm just like, it just needs to live. Get a valuable anti-air kill. I start doing the same thing and capture right in front of him. Forcing him to do something. Could have maybe attacked. Maybe I just thought, well, he's gonna force his mech to come down and attack anyways. Recon to cover the bottom side. Get the first strike with the medium tank. Anti-air, kill that infantry because I don't see other air units to kill. I do have this transport copter, but what's a transport copter gonna do to me other than just maybe block a tile? Artillery gets a strike on that tank. Boom. My medium tank follows up. Healthy tank takes out that tank. Battlecopter tries to take out this medium tank, and yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe because I was like, oh, I'm on a city. If I don't kill it, I probably might survive. The thing is, it's a max medium tank. It was not surviving. But these two infantry, however, they do get the chip damage to kill. And battlecopter just right in front of that medium tank. I dare that medium tank to stay. Tank rolls down. Infantry are just moving forward. Infantry. Couldn't build anything much more because of that battlecopter. and I try going for that HQ. I'm like, yeah, go ahead, pull it back, do something with it. Moves his infantry, moves one infantry forward again, and then he uses his max blast. Max's max blast. That sounds weird. But yeah, this was just another thing I didn't calculate. Movement. Getting movement is really, really good in Advanced Wars. And look, he's attacking my medium tank inside of the range of my artillery, so that was really painful. Does 2 damage with 1 health medium tank. It's pretty crazy. And yeah, he killed that tank. That surprises me. I don't agree with this attack order. You want to try to preserve your mech's health, so you might want to go infantry attacking first and then the mech. You know, and yeah, he's kind of walled off his bottom side. Loads infantry in there, and he builds a bomber. Ooh, this was I'm like, oh wow, this could be something that could save him. I just need to, if he can get this anti-air, then it could probably save him the game. Despite being like 6, 7, 8, 9 units behind, this bomber could maybe save him. He is going to get more unit value than I am. Alright, so day 18. I thought long and hard about this turn actually, because right now I just have my black wave. I have damage units. He has units with more health than me. Yeah, it was we were kind of like, you know, crossing back and forth with each other. So yeah, it was like I said, I thought long and hard about this turn, and probably thought a little too late. So I do capture that city at the bottom, and I start capturing this HQ. But at that point I realized, yeah, I should have maybe popped my power, because I would have brought it to 4 HP, and I probably would have gotten to like 16 capture points left. But eventually I decided that I wanted to use my power, because I'm also getting an attack boost and a defense boost. He already has this up, so he's going to get a bit of defense, but yeah, there's just so many things that went through my head that made me want to use his power. So now I'm even with this medium tank, and I get the first strike and I deal 6 damage to it. Battlecopter blocks off the bridge, and I deal 3 damage to that medium tank. Infantry. That was so funny to see. It was on a road, so it wasn't getting any defense anyways. Recon gets a really good strike on that mech. Tank comes down. Ooh, that was kind of crazy. Artillery gets a good strike on that tank. Small regular tank comes down, kills that medium tank, moves his infantry down, maybe start capturing one of these cities. This one could start capturing that. Tank moves up, kills that anti-air. Now my battlecopter is free. I deal 3 damage to it, and I block off this medium tank. So it cannot retreat. I was not going to attack that medium tank with that infantry. And I seal it off from the front. So yeah, that's an upside down L I want that medium tank to take there. Infantry and the rest of my units are just trying to catch up. Anti-air moves out of range of this bomber. Doesn't look like it now, but it's just showing the move that Max has with his super. It will lose 2 movement, and if he goes for this anti-air somehow, I will have this next one to reinforce it. Build a battlecopter, 2 infantry, and it is now day 18. And like I said, this bomber cannot reach that anti-air. Medium tank comes down, tries to kill that artillery, moves his infantry up to try and interrupt the cap. Transports, infantry, they're all trying to scoot around my recon. Pulls his medium tank back, infantry moving forward. Builds another medium tank, infantry, and he chooses to resign. I I can understand that. He's 11 units behind. I have roughly 40,000 in value. Income is now even, and I'm okay with just, and I can sit comfortably with the even amount of income. Yeah, Max had to go for the throat as soon as he could if he wanted to get a chance at beating me. But he chose a tier 2 CO against a tier 1 CO, and it really shows. But that didn't mean that it was unwinnable for Max. Just be as aggressive as he could, hold his properties, and try not to let me get my Black Storm. But eventually, the Storm does come, and you saw that huge income swing that you saw earlier in the game, and I came back. But yeah, this was this was a fun one. You can see how different Fog and Standard can be. I had fun, and I played this because realistically, if you look at the tier list, if you play Hawke and Fog, you have to deal with Sturm and Grit, which I really don't like. In Standard, Sturm and Grit have moved up to tier 0, so I was a bit more comfortable with the other tier 1 COs to play against as Hawke. But that was my first Standard replay for the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for the support. Keep an eye out for more Advanced Wars videos on this channel. All of you guys have my warmest regards. Please take care.